News 4 Midday starts now.
Plus, the kosher baker joins us this morning to talk about Rosh Hashanah and a classic dish for the high holiday. Stay with us. The Jewish New Year celebration, Rosh Hashanah, is just around the corner. In fact, it starts this weekend. It is Sunday. It begins. And there are all kinds of wonderful foods that are being prepared right now. And with us, our friend, the kosher baker, Paula Scheuer. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me back. This is a great time of year. There is so much great food for Rosh Hashanah, and I feed lots of people on this holiday.
Well, we know that there's always brisket, or at least sometimes
I always have brisket, some kind of tzimmus, matzo ball soup, apple cake. Those are just some traditional things, but those, we also like to add something to spice it up, something different too.
While the menu may differ from home to home, there's always challah.
There is always challah, and the tradition on Rosh Hashanah is to serve round challah. So I have this gigantic round challah that'll serve the 25 people coming to my house Sunday night.
Well, it looks beautiful. You're going to show us how to make challah today.
I'm going to show you some basics in challah making. So what I have here is some salt and some sugar, and I'm going to add oil and mix that up. And what I have here already is some yeast proofing. So it's yeast.
You start with oil and sugar, and what else? And salt?
Oil, sugar, and salt, and then you use hot water to dissolve that a bit.
Okay, I've never seen bread start this way with the salt.
Yeah, until you have your yeast proofing at the same time, and then you add a little bit of cold water, and then we're going to add our eggs. And you save a little bit of the egg to brush on top of your challahs later. And you mix that in, and then you add your yeast. The yeast is so huge here because it's been sitting here a little while. But make sure your yeast gets really nice and puffy before you put it into your recipe. And after you mix this up, then you add the flour. And I use bread flour only, not all-purpose. Although sometimes here I did whole wheat flour.
This is really an unusual way to start bread, I think, but that's what makes challah special.
But it mixes it so well, and the eggs make it nice and fluffy, and I'm really big. So you mix this up, and you keep adding flour until you get this really nice soft dough. And then after the dough sits for about an hour, it looks like this. You see that it's nice and spongy? You can feel that.
Yeah, let's let everybody see it. Wow.
And
this is how that looks beautiful.
So this is like my basic classic recipe, which is in both of my cookbooks, the Kosher Baker, Holiday Kosher Baker. This one over here is a cinnamon and honey flavored challah.
And when do you put in the cinnamon and honey?
When I do the liquids. So it kind of dissolves a little bit.
Everything goes in at the same time.
Yeah, so I just roll this out and I cook up apples with brown sugar and cinnamon and nutmeg, and I put that in the middle there. And these are my apple and honey challah rolls. Apple and honey is one of the most traditional foods on the holidays. And this is my little trick. I stuff it inside.
Oh,
and then I roll it up like this, and then I can tie it in a knot, or I can coil it like this. And you twist it up, and then you brush it with egg, and then you end up with these beautiful challah rolls. So the apples and the honey, you can open one up, they're inside.
It looks gorgeous. Let me open that up so you can see.
Go right ahead. So you see the apple should be like in this, or inside here.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
They're hiding somewhere.
Well,
there they are.
taste it.
You can just eat it. It's great. These are really yummy. And my classic challah, I do it lots of different ways, but I wanted to show you quickly how to make a nice 4-braid challah. So let me move this down over here. Let's put this on our silk.
You've taken out the dough and rolled it into 4 pieces.
4 long strands. You can do it in your hands. You can do it on the table. And you start, I usually start on the left, and I go over and under and over. And then I keep doing that. Let's move these a little closer together. I taught this to teenagers this summer. I'm actually doing a challah baking workshop for the Washington Hebrew congregation on November 2nd. We're hoping for hundreds of women to make challah all at the same time.
I've always wondered how this was done.
Over, under, and over.
So you're braiding with 3 pieces.
It's 4. It's 4.
Oh, 4.
Yeah, because this is just a little more interesting.
Yes, right, 4.
And then you keep doing this to the end, and then you tuck it underneath.
And that comes out like this?
That's the 4 braid over there.
Oh, that's the 4.
This is a 3 braid.
Can you see this? I'm going to pick it up.
You can pick that one up.
Okay. This is how it comes out.
That's the 4 braid, so it's more interesting.
And what do you put on top of it?
This is something I call everything spices. You can buy this in a jar and brush it, or egg on top, and sprinkle this on top. So, and this one is just, 7 balls of dough, and I put in a round pan. So they puff up and they stick together, so you can do a round challah like that.
And this is the one you're serving at your house?
Yes, absolutely. So this is 3 braided challahs. So you put 1 this way on the cookie sheet and 1 this way, and the middle one I swirl together.
Beautiful.
So I really love to, mix it up. This one's sourdough, this one's whole wheat. So I try to introduce something for everybody.
Paula Scheuer, we're always happy to see you. Happy holidays.
Shana Tova to everyone in the audience.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. On?